We're here at the J Davison as a celebration for International Women's Day. I'm joined by Sophie, a community coach at Altrincham Football Club. Sophie, we'll start off with, what is it that drew you to football?
I think the first thing what drew me into playing was in school. It was just a PE lesson. They started bringing football into our PE lessons in like year 2, and then ever since that I've just played. And then it was like year 9 in high school, one of my football coaches came forward and was like, I think you would make a really good coach, and like pushed me in the direction to help with tournaments in school. And then when I went to college, it was my same football coach asked me to help out within the Man United Foundation to run tournaments. And then I've also just had a passion to go out and help kids develop within the game.
You mentioned your guidance there, going from playing to coaching. Do you reckon that's had a big impact so far on what you've done?
Yeah, because I always knew that I wasn't the best footballer, so going into coaching, it allowed me to put my knowledge across even better to help develop other kids from just playing. It's helped me grow as a person and grow in confidence. Just
as you mentioned then, growing as a person and growing confidence, is that one of the things amongst many others that you really like and are passionate about the game?
Yeah, I think especially the coaching side of it, you work with a lot of different people. Like within the day you go out to different sessions, you're putting on different sessions to a lot of different kids. You've got to deal with different environments, and it just helps you grow more in as a person, because you're learning new things on the job as you're going.
You work for the community coaching side of Altrincham Football Club. What's the day-to-day life like with that?
It's a very inclusive group of people. Everyone's really welcoming, everyone's really friendly. We're going in and out of different schools. We put on PE lessons, after school clubs. We also do holiday clubs, so it's a variety of different sessions we put on. After school clubs is different to our PE lessons, but it's all about the learning curve. So PE could be following the school curriculum. As after school clubs, we provide fun, engaging sessions for the children to come for an hour after school to play football.
How proud do you feel like you were part of that precious time for those kids, whether it's after school, in the holidays, giving them something to do and giving enjoyment to them?
I am very proud, because growing up for me as a kid, I didn't have many opportunities like that. So for me to give back to the people in the Altrincham community for holiday clubs and after school clubs, it's a big thing, because I've always said I want to give back what I couldn't participate in as a child. There wasn't very many opportunities, so I think it is a proud moment to be able to put a smile on the kids' face, put engaging sessions out for them to come down and participate in.
As we're celebrating International Women's Day this week, I wanted to ask you about the impact women's football has, and in particular you're a fan of Manchester United women's team. What do you think their impact has been on women's football and the beautiful game in general?
I think the growth they've had, especially since reforming 5 years ago, it's been quite an amazing thing to watch since going down. We got promoted in our first season, and then it's just grew since then, especially since the Euros. More people have come down. So before the Euros you could have 500 people there. It's now grew to 6,000. So it's good that the role models in the game are coming forward to influence younger children to step up and be I want to be that certain player coming forward. So I think it has a big impact on the game, and it's fun to see more younger kids wanting to step up and play.
You mentioned role models there. The women's game has grown from strength to strength over the last few years. How important is it for young women within football to have role models to look up to?
I think it's quite important. I've seen quite a few young girls come to more games with more women's names on the back of the shirts, and all I hear going in and out of sessions is, I want to be the next Ella Toon or the next Mary Earps or whoever it may be. And I think if they've got someone to look up to see how hard they've worked to get to the position they're in, I think it's just going to motivate the young ones to be well, if I want to be them, I've got to work as hard as them.
And as the women's game goes to strength over the next few years, what's one thing you would looking forward to seeing?
I think just the development in the funding, and how many more girls step up to carry on with playing within the game, and how many girls stick to it, and it's not just a phase because the women have won the Euros. Just to see more girls happy being able to pursue what they want to do, and not just be well, I'm doing it because of a certain amount of time because of the Euros, and it's still a big hype. I want to see more girls carry on developing and being able to progress into the next stage.